Welcome back to Ms. World Traveler Experiences New York City. Now that we are experts at getting around, one of the first things on everybody's list is to see a Broadway show, as it should be.
Growing up with an opera singer for a mother, I've always loved the theater and know many of the famous Broadway tunes by heart. So I took the opportunity to attend as many shows as I could fit in. The first was Mamma Mia, and although the production was a limited run by a touring company, the songs stuck in my head and I found myself singing all the way home. Next was Chicago, and there is a reason it has been playing continuously since 1996 and has surpassed 10,000 performances. The talent was absolute top-notch. And as an added bonus, Oscar-winning actress Mira Sorvino was making her Broadway debut as Roxy Hart. A new show, The Queen of Versailles, opened recently, and while I didn't walk out humming the music, Kristen Chenoweth's performance was stellar, as were her outfits and the sets. Another recent opening had Bobby Cannavale, Neil Patrick Harris, and James Corden starring in Art, about a man who buys a white painting, his friend's reaction to it, and how it affects their relationship. The performances were spectacular, though I personally thought James Corden stole the show. Once Gia got to town, we saw MJ the Musical together, and if there is one to put on your See It on Broadway list, it would be this one. The dancing alone was mesmerizing and heart-pounding, but add in a bittersweet story and songs we all know and love, and you got the recipe for a phenomenal experience. We were so engrossed, we didn't want it to end. Chess has been around a long time, and when I lived in London in the 80s, it was in its heyday. Since I had never seen it, it seemed like a good idea to see it as a revival with Aaron Tveit, Leah Michelle, and Nicholas Christopher. Our final show was Death Becomes Her, which was a repeat from May for me, but the performances were so wonderful, I wanted Gia to see it. Plus, she has always been a Megan Hilty fan from the days of the television show about Broadway, Smash. And I couldn't let her go alone, now could I?
With my love of onstage performance, it's like the Museum of Broadway knew I was coming and rolled out the red carpet for me. Okay, not really, but I felt right at home.
Starting with the earliest shows, including original showgirl-style costumes from 1915, it went through a timeline of many shows I've heard of but never seen, shows I grew up watching my mother perform in, and the golden age of theater, where some of the most iconic shows were written and staged. Set up with different artisans creating the vignettes of passing through the decades, costumes, hairstyles, and musical styles followed the trends of the time, and there was a definite air of nostalgia along with admiration for new works. If you've seen some of the shows, you'll be inspired to see more. For a completely New York City experience, you will leave the Museum of Broadway with an updated bucket list and a smile on your face.
Another way to experience Broadway is to take a walking tour, and there are several different kinds, most of which do not go inside. So I signed up with Broadway Up Close to get an insider's peek inside the oldest surviving theater in town, the Hudson.
Led by actors, dancers, and theater people, like our tour guide Brett, the adventure began outside the Hudson Theater, which opened in 1903 with the production of Cousin Kate, starring Ethel Barrymore, the great aunt of Drew Barrymore. Since then, The theater has lived many lives, including as the first home of The Tonight Show, starring Steve Allen in 1956, with many of the original features painted or plastered over in the ensuing years. But some things still stood out. The beautiful coffered ceiling with crystal chandeliers in the ticket lobby used to have incandescent light bulbs in each recess, an unheard of luxury in the early days of electricity. The 30-foot wide by 100-foot long inner foyer was the largest non-auditorium gathering space in a theater of that time. And the 3 stained glass backlit domes were designed by Louis Tiffany himself. As of 2015, a new owner stepped in and invested millions to restore the Hudson back to a working theater again. The day I was there was actually its 122nd birthday, with hopefully many more to come.
Historic theaters, witnessing the best talent from across the country, celebrity sightings, getting dressed up for an evening out. Experiencing Broadway has it all. Now stay tuned. Next time on Ms. World Traveler Experiences New York City, we are looking up. See you then.